You should not say he's an animal. Should not say he's Jacko. I'm not a Jacko. I'm Jackson.
How do you feel when they call you Wacko
Yeah, Wacko Jacko. Where'd that come from? Some English tabloid. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. It's not nice. Don't do it. I'm not a wacko.
Michael Jackson didn't just become famous, he became a target. At one point, he was the biggest star on the planet. Then slowly, the headlines changed. The music stayed the same. The records kept breaking, but the story the media told about him started to get darker, stranger, and more cruel. Every move he made was watched. Every rumor grew legs. And before long, the world wasn't looking at Michael Jackson the artist anymore. They were looking at a version of him that the media helped create.
I am not guilty of these allegations, but if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give to help children all over the world. It is of enjoying through them the childhood that I missed myself.
After the 1993 allegations, Michael finally sat down for his first major interview beside his then-wife, Lisa Marie Presley. This moment mattered because it was one of the first times the public saw him directly address the accusations after months of non-stop media coverage. Michael denied any wrongdoing, and Lisa stood beside him, explaining that the allegations were not true. This was not a performance on stage. This was Michael trying to take control of a story that had already been taken from him. He was trying to speak before the media finished writing the ending for him.
What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy, or a series of them?
Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Come on, that's ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous question. But since people want to hear it, the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed, ever. Children love me, I love them, they follow me, they want to be with me. But anybody can come in my bed. A child can come in my bed if they want.
I can say, sorry, I've seen this. I've seen it a lot. I've seen kids. I've seen him with children in the last year. I've seen it enough to where I can see how that can happen. I understand.
Isn't part of being an adult, and you have a 2-year-old child, 2-year-old boy.
Yeah, let me just, sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I've seen these children, they don't let him go to the bathroom without running in there with him, and they won't let him out of their sight. So when he jumps in the bed, I'm even out. They jump in the bed with him.
But denying the allegations was never enough for Michael because the public image had already been damaged. The media had built a version of him that was strange, suspicious, and dangerous. So Michael kept trying to explain who he really was. He said he would never hurt a child. He talked about how people tried to belittle him and bring him down. To Michael, these accusations attacked the deepest part of him because he saw children as innocent, pure, and joyful. He believed he was helping children, not harming them. That is why the allegations hurt him so deeply. They turned the thing he cared about most into the thing used against him.
You molested this boy.
Totally false. Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. This is totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that. They did it to try and belittle me, to try to take away my pride. But I went through the whole system with them, and at the end, I wanted the public to know that I was okay.
The media also used Michael's appearance to make him look suspicious. His changing skin color became one of the biggest jokes and rumors of his career. Instead of listening to his explanation that he had vitiligo, people created stories that he hated himself or wanted to become white. Michael had to publicly explain something deeply personal because the tabloids had turned his medical condition into entertainment. He asked people to stop listening to stupid stories because those stories were not harmless. They made him look dishonest, strange, and fake when he was actually dealing with a real condition.
So please, people, stop believing these
Michael,
horrifying
then
stories.
let's go to the thing that is most discussed about you, I think, is the fact that the color of your skin is obviously different than it was when you were younger.
Yes.
And so I think it has caused a great deal of speculation and controversy as to what you have done or are doing. Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder. that destroys the pigmentation of the skin is something that I cannot help.
To understand why Michael Jackson's defenders still question the 1993 case, Evan Chandler's role matters. Evan was Jordan Chandler's father, but he was also described as a dentist with Hollywood dreams and an interest in screenwriting.
On the 20th of May of 1993, Michael meets Evan Chandler for the first time. After that, Michael and Evan invite each other to each other's homes, and Evan also invited Michael to stay for weekends at a time. Now, Evan was a dentist, and it's important to point out that he wasn't happy being a dentist. He actually wanted to be a screenwriter. In fact, I do believe he has a writing credit on a particular movie. I don't know what it is right now, but I will put it up on the screen if I find it. Needless to say, he wasn't successful. So he didn't get to that level of success and I suppose stardom in Hollywood that he was hoping for. So by all accounts, he was quite fame hungry and narcissistic and quite bitter about the fact that he was a dentist rather than a screenwriter in Hollywood. This is an important factor to bear in mind. So we're not just dealing with a normal person here. By the time he meets Michael, he already had such high aspirations for himself. In June of 1993, only a month after meeting Michael, Evan hires lawyer Barry Rothman, who was a patient of his. As I said, Evan was a dentist. Now, it is interesting to note that Rothman himself was previously disciplined by the bar for misconduct as a lawyer. On the 8th of July, 1993, Evan was taped talking to David Schwartz, June's second husband, about hiring Rothman. And in that phone call, he discussed his extortion plan. David Schwartz recorded this for Michael's private investigator, Anthony Pellicano, and he gave the recording to him the very next day, so July 9th.
Supporters argue the case became more complicated when Evan hired lawyer Barry Rothman and money entered the timeline. The recorded phone call and the alleged $20 million demand became major points of suspicion.
This man is going to be humiliated beyond belief. He will not believe it. He will not believe what's going to happen. And beyond his worst nightmares, sell one more record.
This attorney I found, I interviewed several, and I picked the nastiest son of a bitch I could find. Once I make that phone call, this guy is just going to destroy everybody in sight. Any devious, nasty, cruel way that he can do it. And I've given him full authority to do that. It'll be a massacre if I don't get what I want.
If I go through with this, I win big time.
I will get everything I want, and they will be destroyed forever. They will be destroyed. June is going to lose Jordy. She will have no right to ever see him again.
Yeah.
That's fact, Dave. That's what's
Does that help?
Michael's career will be over.
Does that help Jordy?
Michael's career will be over.
And does that help Jordy?
That's irrelevant to me.
Evan later arranges a meeting with Michael and Anthony Pellicano to take place on the 4th of August in 1993. This was followed up by a meeting between Evan, Rothman, and Anthony Pellicano in Rothman's office, where Evan demanded $20 million from Michael in exchange for not turning to the authorities and going public with his allegations of abuse.
To many defenders, this raised a serious question. If the goal was justice and protecting a child, why did the situation involve legal pressure, negotiations, and such a great financial demand? Years later, Michael Jackson was questioned under oath in a deposition.
Are you aware that Jordan Chandler, or his family on his behalf, filed a lawsuit against you?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware that at some point in time in that lawsuit, Adrienne McManus gave her deposition?
I'm not positive.
Your answer confuses me. How do you mean you're not positive? You don't know whether she gave her deposition or not?
Exactly.
This footage matters because it shows him in a serious legal setting, away from the stage and celebrity image. He was asked about the 1993 allegations, the Chandler lawsuit, grand jury investigations, and related claims. What stands out is his calm behavior. He answers carefully and stays controlled, not like the strange figure the media often showed. In one moment, he looks at handwritten notes about false stories he wanted to correct. It shows how much the rumors hurt him and how badly he wanted the truth heard.
Let me ask you this. Do you recognize the handwriting on these two sheets?
Yes.
Do you know whose handwriting it is?
It's mine.
Do you know what these documents are?
Yeah.
What is this?
crazy stories that people have created, things I wanted to set straight in an interview.
Do you know with whom this interview was?
The next, I think it could have been Diane Sawyer, whatever the interview was that I wanted to do. I want to set the record straight, that if people hear a lie long enough, people believe it, that people have lied on me. I'm a Black American and I'm proud of it.
One of the most damaging moments in Michael Jackson's later life was the Martin Bashir documentary. Michael let Bashir into his home, family life, and private world because he believed it would show who he really was. But after it aired, Michael's side said the documentary was edited to make him look strange and suspicious.
What you're seeing all took place on the day that Martin Bashir and his crew were filming at Neverland. You actually see him in several of the shots being taken by Jackson's camera crew.
This was supposed to be a documentary to tell the truth, everything. And who would bring somebody to his life and open up all the way and wanted to lie about it? You know, if you want to lie about it, don't even do it. He didn't have to do this documentary. Nobody forced him to do this documentary.
After a full day spent with children from the Make-A-Wish Foundation at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, what was Mr. Bashir's comment? We'll quote directly from his appearance on ABC's Primetime Thursday. One of the most disturbing things is the fact that a lot of disadvantaged children go to Neverland. Now, I'm not saying that I saw any evidence of Michael Jackson being involved sexually with any children. Quite the contrary. But what I am saying is that children who are vulnerable should not be going into the house of a billionaire superstar where they sleep in his bed.
Neverland was shown in a dark way, and the public again viewed him with fear. Later, Michael's own footage showed Bashir praising Neverland and calling the experience kind and incredible. To Michael's defenders, this proved the documentary left out important context and twisted the story.
The problem is, you see, nobody actually comes here and sees it. But I was here yesterday, and I saw it. And it's nothing short of a spiritually kind thing.
He does it all the time.
I know, but I've told him. I know.
A lot of people see it, but
they never talk about it. And I've said this to him. And what I've wanted to convey is those two things. Yeah. And what we've had the privilege of doing this week is not only talking about the musical genius, but about what we saw yesterday, which was incredible.
Have such a different opinion between what he would say on the air and what he would say in the interview footage not included in his special. It appears that after Mr. Bashir had called cut for his own camera crew, he may well have forgotten that Michael's camera was still recording his every word, a possibility supported by a written request from both him and the producers of his special to make Michael's footage available for their review. The different opinion expressed by Mr. Bashir regarding the safety of the underprivileged children who visit Neverland is only the first of several contradictory moments captured on tape.
After Michael Jackson's death, the accusations came back through leaving Neverland, but this time, Michael was not alive to defend himself. His nephew, Taj Jackson, argued that timing was important because a dead person cannot sue for libel or slander.
And Michael Jackson's oldest nephew, Taj Jackson, joins us live from LA. Taj, good to see you again. Since we last spoke, more people have come forward to make allegations about your uncle Michael. We know that you think, and the family think, we heard it just there, that money is their motivation. But why now, Taj? They've had a lot of time to come forward for money in the past. Why are they doing it now?
Well, I think now it's very relevant because the fact is that there is no libel or slander law to protect the dead. So my uncle has no countersuit. He's not here to defend himself. So if the timing matches, it's because they can print or say anything they want about Michael Jackson and there's no legal recourse. It made me really angry, I'll be honest with you. I had to stop and kind of collect myself and then watch it again, knowing Wade and seeing him flat out lie on TV and seeing what he's doing to this family. So yeah, it bothered me a lot.
Michael could not give interviews, challenge the claims, or fight back in court, so his family had to defend his name. Taj also questioned Wade Robson's story and said important details, including Wade's past connection to Brandy Jackson, were left out. His main point was that people accepted the documentary without checking depositions, contradictions, court history, or earlier statements.
I think it's important to mention that Wade did not mention that he had been dating my cousin Brandy for over those 7 years that he's claiming abuse. And that's something that you won't hear in the documentary, which is something, it doesn't fit the narrative of what they're saying.
Sorry, so how is that relevant, Taj?
Well, how is it relevant? Because Wade actually asked my uncle to set him up with Brandy, and I'm sure if you've watched the movie, he claims that Michael and him were in love. And so if Michael and him were in love and Michael wanted him for himself, Michael would not have set up his young niece with his abuser. It's tiring. It's really tiring. There's this, Wade's 2016 deposition, part of his deposition, the estate found written notes that Wade wrote and that he'd never denied under oath, talking about my story of abuse and its effects will make me relatable/relevant. This is all about being relevant in his eyes. And it's frustrating to see people take him for face value without doing any kind of research, any kind of background check.
Michael Jackson spent most of his life being judged through tabloids and media stories. Many reports turned him into a strange character instead of showing him as a real person. Over time, those stories damaged his image, made people doubt him, and pushed him further away from the public. He often felt misunderstood because rumors were repeated like facts. Instead of living freely, he became more private and careful about who he trusted. To his defenders, Michael was not just famous, he was a person constantly attacked by headlines, forced to hide behind walls because the media kept twisting his life.
I've been living in that kind of life all my life. The tabloid press, that kind of press, not the press, the tabloid, the paparazzi, that type. I've been running for my life like that, hiding, getting away. You can't go that way because they're over there. Well, let's go this way. Pretend we're going that way and we'll go that way. Somebody say, hold on, stop. This person deserves their privacy. You are not allowed to go there. I mean, I go around the world dealing with running and hiding. I can't take a walk in the park. I can't go to the store. I have to hide in a room. You feel like you're in prison.
What's been the most intrusive thing? What's the worst?
They've always have been. They go as far as to hiding in the places.
Even people whose names were pulled into the story publicly defended Michael. Macaulay Culkin, one of the most famous children who spent time around Michael, calmly denied that anything inappropriate ever happened. That matters because his name was often used by people trying to make Michael look suspicious. But when Culkin spoke for himself, he did not support that version of the story. He defended Michael and rejected the idea that he had been harmed.
That's what's so weird,
What did happen?
Nothing happened, I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, we played it as an amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been, because he's not a very social person.
In 2005, Michael faced the only criminal trial of his life. After weeks of testimony, the jury found him not guilty on all counts. For his supporters, this verdict became the strongest legal answer to the media narrative. The case was tested in court with evidence, witnesses, cross-examination, and a jury. And when it ended, Michael walked out legally innocent. But the damage done to his image could not be erased as easily as a verdict could be read.
Plaintiff versus Michael Joe Jackson, defendant, case number 1133603, count 1, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of conspiracy as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
Outside the courthouse, fans cried, cheered, and celebrated because they believed justice had finally spoken. To them, Michael had survived not only a trial, but years of being treated like a criminal by the public. That reaction showed how deeply people still believed in him. They saw him as a man who had been mocked, accused, humiliated, searched, judged, and still found not guilty.
And if this jury had no doubt, none of us should have any doubt whatsoever.
You personally, though, are pretty surprised, Bob Shapiro. You thought this was perhaps going to go the other way.
I certainly did. And I didn't think Michael would be singing Beat It. Now he's going to be doing the moonwalk.
But even after the verdict, Michael's name was never fully free. The media had already created an image that followed him until his final days and even after his death. This is why his story is bigger than allegations alone. It is about how a person can be turned into a villain through repetition, editing, missing context, and public suspicion. Michael Jackson was unusual, yes, but unusual does not automatically mean evil. His defenders say he was generous, childlike, damaged by fame, and deeply misunderstood. And when you look at his own words, the people who defended him, the edited footage, and the legal outcome, the story becomes much more complicated than the headlines ever allowed.
How do you feel about all the stories that are written about you?
It's very sad. I just want the fans to know and to understand that it's not the truth. 99.9% of it is not the truth. And don't read it, don't believe it, it's garbage. It's tabloid junk. I mean, they just simply make it up for greed and money. So please don't listen to it.
If you watched till the end, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.